So our next speaker, we have Dr. Noman. Dr. Noman is an associate professor of finance at the University of North Carolina at Pembroke. He is a certified financial planner as well as a certified educator in personal finance. So please welcome Dr. Noman.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa ala sahbihi ajma'in. It's not going to be something huge in terms of what we have heard since morning, but I've started to think about and work on this project. So I hope I will get good feedback from you, inshallah. So the title of this presentation is A Conceptual Framework for Financial Well-Being and Financial Capabilities for American Muslims. This is a research idea. I'm still working on it. And if I get some feedback from you, hopefully I'll be able to improve on my idea. So the traditional financial and household financial literature has documented importance of financial well-being. I mean, as a very young Muslim population in America, we are growing. We need to ensure that the level of well-being, especially well-being is a big concept. Within the bigger perspective, a subset of well-being is financial well-being. So we need to ensure that Muslims are also experiencing financial well-being within America. Only then they'll be able to grow bigger, and they will also demand Islamic products. But if you're not financially well, if they're not sound, they will not care about financial products. They'll be struggling to survive in the first place. So I wanted to understand what are the determinants of financial well-being of the Muslim population communities living in the US. Many papers in the conventional traditional literature, you will see there are many papers that do talk about financial well-being, and I'm interested to find out the determinants of financial well-being specifically for Muslim communities. I think we have seen that yesterday. Muslim community, when we say Muslims in general, Muslim communities in the US, obviously we are most ethnically diverse community compared to other religion. So obviously we have Black and African Americans, Asian, Chinese, white, Arab, and so on. So we can expect that people are thinking differently from this ethnicity to another ethnicity. So the way Arabs think about their financial well-being may be different from the way Black and African Americans are thinking. So I need to figure out how their thoughts are varying within this community. All right, so conceptualizing financial well-being. There are many definitions, but mainly there are two different areas. One is objective well-being, another one is subjective well-being. Objective well-being is to find out the financial situation of a family or an individual in terms of the numbers, how much wealth he or she has accumulated over time, what is the size of his retirement portfolio, what is the size of his investment or her investment portfolio, and so on. So that is the objective measure. On the other hand, subjective measure will depend on characterizing somebody's own financial situation based on his or her own understanding and feelings, okay? And for this, I borrowed the definition from CFPB, Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. They have a formal definition given, which is a state. Financial well-being is a state, not the number, but a state wherein a person can fully meet current and ongoing financial obligations, can feel secure in their financial future, and is able to make choices that allow them to enjoy life. So I'm going to show this first. You see, there are two different dimensions in this definition by CFPB, Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. One is present and then future. It's a timeline. And then security and choice. So am I financially secure? And do I have choice? Am I free to choose my own financial products here? Or say, for example, I'm planning for retirement. Do I have to choose from the list of financial products that was given to me, or am I free to my own financial products? That's one thing, and present and future. And obviously, this is subjective definition of financial well-being rather than the objective definition. So how do I go back? Oh, I see. I know I found it. Okay, so given this perspective, subjective perspective, the research questions that I ask in this paper are those two. There are some typos. I was trying to make changes, but I couldn't. But anyway, are the concepts of financial well-being and financial capabilities different for American Muslims from their fellow Americans? The existing literature already talks about financial well-being, financial capabilities, the relationship between them, and we have evidence, empirical evidence, as well as theoretical basis to understand the relationship. The question is, can we say that that empirical evidence also applies to Muslim communities in America or not? So I wanted to find out that. Number two, are the determinants of American Muslims' financial well-being related to their religious awareness regarding financial transactions? Because we all know that there are some restrictions or guidelines given by Al-Fiqh al-Mu'amalat al-Maliyya, Islamic financial transactions. So Muslims, are they aware of it? Number one, if they are, does it matter? Do they care about those restrictions or rules and beliefs when they make financial decisions? So this is what I wanted to also find out. All right. So, like I said before, so I don't have much time to explain. CFPB framework is the best framework that I have found so far. The reason is that if we go through the objective route, meaning trying to find out the financial situation of Muslim families and individuals in America, it's not going to be an easy one because getting numbers from respondents will be difficult. So I will be taking the route of focusing on a subjective financial well-being, meaning how do you feel about your own financial well-being right now, rather than show me the evidence. You see that route. So Muslims often do not want to share information. It's not only Muslims. I mean, in many other communities, may not be willing to reveal their financial position to a questioner. Somebody is asking them, okay, give me, so which, select the, so if I give them three options, like what is the size of your retirement portfolio? 500,000 to 1 million, 1 million to 2 million. Nobody is going to give me that number so easily. So I'm not going to take that route. Also, getting answers to questions on financial wellness will be difficult. I am aware of that. So what I'm planning to do is to do a pilot study in the beginning and see where I'm unable to get enough information so I can change the questions later on. Then the question of financial capability. Now, financial capability, of course, for the sake of brevity, what I'm going to do, I will show you first this picture. In the literature, for example, this paper, they show that there are two components of financial capabilities: financial skill and financial access. These two things make up financial capabilities. But what I do, I add another aspect, which is financial skills. Financial skills, financial access, and literacy, all three make up financial capability. And financial capability will affect financial well-being of individual families. Going back to my previous screen, the research objective that I said before, to understand how financial well-being and financial capability are related with socioeconomic characteristics and then to explore the association between financial well-being and each components of financial capability. Now, this is where my contribution will be different from the traditional literature. I'm trying to develop a religious awareness score. This is coming right out of my own mind, and I will seek experts' feedback. So I have identified 5 areas that are minimum for an individual or a family to be aware of in terms of fiqh al-mu'amala, that I need to know that Islam asks me to be aware of those 5 things. My income, halal income. Interest, that interest is prohibited. Obviously, I can't bring gharar and other more advanced terms when I'm asking people questions. A lot of people have not even heard of what is gharar, right? So I'm limiting myself to interest only, and then zakat. Obviously, everybody knows about zakat, and then charitable donations, and finally family. Now, in the conventional literature, they don't talk about family normally. They will focus only on your individual, like as an individual, how financially secure you feel. But then Muslims are different in terms of their understanding of as an individual. They feel that sometimes, most of the times, that they're part of a family. So they focus on family as well. So financially helping relatives is also an important part of Islamic finance, I believe, at personal and family level. So these are the 5 things I will be asking questions. So what I'm going to do, I have developed a like empirical model. So financial well-being is dependent on a set of socioeconomic variables, which includes age, gender, looking at the baseline model, age, gender, income, education, unemployment, home ownership. Those are the basic characteristics of the respondents. And then I extended to include financial skill, financial access. Access means now, even if I'm aware of the fact that I can deal in interest-based products, I can go to an conventional banks. The question is, do I have any other option? Is there any Islamic bank around me? I live in a small town, for example. Where do I save my money? Where do I keep my money? So if the access measures or highlights availability of financial institutions and products in my neighborhood, in my surrounding, do I have access to that? That's the access. Skill is a set of questions which tries to discover ability to make the right decision at the right point in time. Of course, related to financial decisions. And then financial literacy. Financial literacy is the basic way of finding whether I am aware of inflation and its impact on my financial decision, number 1. Number 2 is whether I know the difference between fixed income and variable income, stock and bond. What's the difference? And these kind of small questions we ask to find about financial literacy level of the respondents. Okay, so, and then what I do, I create, remember I showed you the 5 areas of financial religious awareness score. That score then will be used to create an interaction term with each of those 3 areas of financial capabilities. So you see in this model, financial skill, then second term, financial skill times religious awareness score. So whether a Muslim respondent's financial skill is related to his or her religious awareness. Okay, so that will be captured through the interaction term. Same thing in the second line, we see financial access times financial religious awareness score. Some people may be aware, but they don't use that awareness when they're making financial decisions. So that I'll be able to capture through this interaction term. And finally, financial literacy, and then religious awareness score. So if beta M in the first line, then gamma M in the second line, and theta M in the third line, delta M in the third line, if they are significant in my regression, that means that a respondent is not only aware of the religious rules, but he or she is also using his awareness when making financial decisions. Okay, so that's all. And obviously, I'm going to develop this survey. Maybe next year, inshallah, I'll be able to share with you some of the preliminary results, inshallah, by the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is the last slide I'm going to show you. The question one will ask this: rank your awareness level for each of the following 5 Islamic financial guidelines. And I'm going to show those 5. The respondents will see the income, zakat, interest, charity, and family. Those 5 things. And then they will say very high, high, moderate, low, very low, and not at all. And similarly, I will ask this question: I take the following Islamic financial guidelines into account when making financial decisions, and then choose your level of engagement. Strongly agree, neither agree, or disagree, and strongly disagree. For each respondent, 2 indexes will be created from their answers by adding up these responses across 5 elements. These indexes will proxy the respondent's religious awareness and will be used as moderating factors in the regression. Thank you for listening to this idea, and I hope I'll be able to consolidate my idea further, inshallah, and I'll create a small survey and do a pilot study very soon. And then based on the feedback from the pilot study, I can expand or make changes in my questions, original questions. And I hope I'll be able to go to bigger cities within America and reach out to Muslim respondents, inshallah. Thank you very much for listening.